Go to the gentleman from Oklahoma. The gentleman chairman is recognized.
Thank you. I want to congratulate both of you, frankly, for the bill and working in such a bipartisan fashion, getting us a product. I haven't had a chance to go through all of it, let alone the 200 and some odd amendments that you seem to be attracting a great deal of interest, but we'll get through it, and I'm sure he and Dale will be supportive. I do have a couple of questions that I know your committee has wrestled with and others, and that's the pay-fors. If you can, tell us how much of a 6-year program we actually pay for with the money that's available, and just what are your thoughts going forward? Because I know we would all like to have a full 6-year bill fully funded.
It's funded for 3 years, but we have provisions in there that allow for, and Paul Ryan, up until last week or so, was working very hard to try to come up with some sort of tax reform, working with the Senate. So we have it for 3 years, and if we get the funding from whatever source in the next 3 weeks, 3 months, or within the next 3 years, that can flow right into the bill and continue on. We won't have to come back and do a rewrite 3 years from now. So that's my hope, that we can figure out a way to find that additional 3 years of funding. And I think that again, with some tax reform, repatriation, and other tax reforms that I've talked with Chairman Ryan, Speaker Ryan now with, I think that's still out there and still possible, and that's what my hope is.
I'd agree with the chairman. It's critical that we have that reopener clause in there, which would say any additional revenues dedicated to the trust fund will be spent under the formulas and policy of this bill. Absolutely critical. I would hope that we don't just fund a 6-year bill ultimately at these levels, but we find even more. We can very productively make the investments. We've got an $84 billion backlog to bring transit up to a state of good repair. Got 140,000 bridges on the national system that need substantial repair or replacement, and 40% of the mileage in the national highway system is at a rate of it's deteriorated to the point where we have to dig up the roadbed and not just resurfacing. That's bad news, but the good news is that would create one heck of a lot of jobs if we could make those kind of investments. So I'm hoping that we do find some revenues and we do at least meet these levels, hopefully more.
Well, I appreciate your efforts. Just one other question, and this may drag you deeper into the details of a small part, but it's important to me. Can you quickly describe what the provisions you have are with respect for Indian roads funding Native American?
For the most part, it's status quo what we've had there, but I do think some ports, when we look at the staff, there's more money to different portions of those programs.
But no substantive changes to the formulas or distributions?
No.
Thank you.
But there are more dollars going to some of those tribal systems.
There were amendments in committee that would have, and we don't know how, because the authors couldn't describe it, have changed the apportionment under the formula, and you will be reviewing those here, and would urge you to take a close look at whether or not those should go forward, because it's obviously something that's very sensitive and not widely understood. We are underinvesting. We have a very high rate of pedestrian deaths, vehicle fatalities. The school buses, particularly on larger reservations in the West, are traversing many tens of miles on a daily basis of poorly maintained roads that are substandard, and it needs more investment.
You certainly are correct on that. I've been on many of those reservations in the Dakotas and further west and southwest, and this is a federal responsibility. You have governments that don't have the ability to tax, so they don't have the ability themselves to raise the revenue, and boy, it is third world infrastructure if you're at a place like Pine Ridge or what have you, which really materially, makes it impossible for them to join the 21st century and for them to have very much in the way of opportunity. So I very much appreciate the extra money and your attention on that. With that, yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.